From the New York City area, welcome to the Badass Counseling Show, where the master badass himself, Sven takes you deep and gives balm for the soul, baby.
Hello, fine people. It is great to have you here at the Badass Counseling Show. Wherever you are you in Sweden? Are you in Kyoto, Japan? Or are you in Toronto? It's great to have you here wherever you are. It's just lovely to have you here joining us on the Badass Counseling Show. I am Sven, the host of this show, and I'm joined in studio by KC over in the booth and Rob the Rocket sitting next to me. Rob, what say ye?
Howdy. I've been listening to some podcasts about the somatic approach. Have you ever heard about that?
I've heard.
In therapy. I mean, it involves the whole body and the body's response.
Interesting.
To psychological stimuli.
Interesting.
And if you do one of those sessions, it usually ends with 15 or 20 minutes of yoga.
Oh.
I'm not sure I'm into that, but I think that may work. I don't know.
I have profound respect for yoga.
Yeah.
But I don't do yoga.
No, neither do I. It's just, I don't know.
You want to know why?
I would like to know why you don't, yeah.
I don't want to work that hard. I swear to God, it is the same reason I don't do Zumba classes with my girlfriend, and she does yoga and Zumba, and she loves them. She also does weight training. I don't do yoga. It is fucking hard.
I thought you just didn't want to say namaste at the end. That's the problem.
It's like the Lord be with you and also with you sort of thing. It te missa est sort of thing.
That's right.
Right. No, it's just hard. I don't like working that hard.
All right. I can tell.
Well, and see the thing about lifting weights, heavy weights, is you need a spurt of like 15 seconds and then I'm done. Then I can take a couple minute long rest.
Yeah. Like you say, it doesn't have to take forever.
It doesn't. Just give me 15 seconds, then you can rest for a while, Sven. You big wuss. All right, Rob. Tell us, Rob, about Harley.
All right, Sven, happy to. Harley wrote in and said, I think I am addicted to my boyfriend who is addicted to sex and validation. This man who was so good to me has turned into a monster that can't leave other women alone. And I just can't seem to let him go. He has continuously cheated on me with random females, prostitutes, married women, his friends' exes. Not only has he cheated, but he has built real relationships with some of these women, having intimate conversations and telling them he loves them, only to tell me he doesn't love them and they are crazy, or he makes me feel like I am the crazy one. And sometimes I think he is right. I get so enraged at times I've broken laptops, iPads, and become physically violent with him. Yet I can't fucking leave him alone. I just want him out of my life, out of my head, out of my heart. It's going to take years to heal from all this trauma he's caused me. Why can't I leave him alone? How do I finally cut all ties with this man and move on with my life? Please help me.
Hello, Harley. Good to have you on the show.
Hi.
Hi. You say, I think I'm addicted to my boyfriend who is addicted to sex/validation. He's addicted to validation. And therefore, if he's addicted to sex/validation and he's going to other men or women in the form of random women, prostitutes, married women, his friends' exes, as well as you for validation, what that means then is that you are not enough to validate him. How does it feel to know that you are not enough to validate him? Give me a feeling word.
Sad.
What's the saddest part about knowing that you are not enough to validate your boyfriend? Are you crying right now?
I'm a little teary-eyed, yeah.
And what's the saddest part about knowing you cannot validate your boyfriend? You are not enough to validate him.
The saddest part probably is because I don't feel like I have ever been enough for anyone, I guess. And I thought he was the one.
He's not just having an affair with, his secretary. He's actually having sex with random females, prostitutes, married women, his friends' exes. Oh, he's a real peach there. So it's not just he's cheating on you. He's just like in this crazed frenzy need for validation. So we're talking about some like high level need for validation. Yeah. And you used the word validation. So that's how you see it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So then let me ask you, you frame it. I mean, I was the one that said, how does it feel to know you're not enough to validate him? And yet you didn't balk at that. Because, well, let me ask you, do you see it that way?
I guess I don't see it that way.
Really? How do you see it? Because I asked you, what's the saddest part? At the mere thought that you're not enough to validate him, you started crying. And you said that I've never been enough. So it almost seems by your reaction that you do see it that way.
I'm just actually like lost. I don't know what I feel anymore, if that makes sense.
And yet you knew you felt sad and your eyes were watering. So,
yeah.
Okay. And so in this whole equation with the boyfriend, what do you feel the most? Give me a feeling word.
I still feel just sad.
Of course. So you do know what you feel.
Yeah.
And if you were to put a sentence to what you feel, what is it?
I'm just sad that I'm just sad that he's not who I thought he was. And I guess that I'm not good enough for him.
Is it okay? And I'm going to test that against another sentence. You tell me which one feels more true. And only you can answer this. I don't know. I'm just asking a question. That I'm not good enough or that he doesn't want me?
That I'm not good enough.
Okay, fair enough. And so then what do you think it is that keeps you hanging around a guy who basically keeps saying, fuck you? Every woman that he's with is a fuck you to you. What do you think it is you're wanting from him above all else?
To be loved.
Right. And if you were loved by him, that would be him basically, what would the underlying message be that he would be sending to you? What would the sentence be that would be attached to that other than I love you? What would that really be saying about you or about your worth or what have you?
That I'm lovable, that
right.
I'm good enough.
That you're enough. Right. If you're feeling like you're not enough, then him loving you and only you, like he was in the beginning, would be him saying you're enough. It would be validation. So the mere fact that you're hanging on to someone, which is understandable, we've all been there. In one form or another, we've all been there. So you're hanging on to someone who keeps pushing you away, keeps rejecting you, and saying you're the problem. Says that you so desperately want him to choose you and to say you are enough. You so want that it could be argued that you're addicted to validation from him. So in a way, you're both addicted to validation. You had said, he was so good to me. And then he turned into a monster. Approximately, how long ago did you guys meet?
Well, we've known each other since high school.
Okay. How old are you? How old are you?
I will be 46 in a few days.
Oh, hey, happy birthday. And, okay. And you've known each other, but you've been dating for how long?
Since 2017.
Okay. So that's 8 years. And so when did he start turn into a monster?
Well, we lived together for a year, and living together didn't quite work out. So I moved out, and that's kind of when it started. And then he quit his job of 20-something years and started his own business and was very successful. This is going to sound crazy. He lost some weight, was feeling good about himself, was making money. And that's kind of when it started.
Gotcha.
That I'm aware of.
So it was about how many years into the relationship then?
2.
Okay. So roughly 2019-ish. Okay.
Yeah.
And he turned into a monster and starts just being with everyone, with all sorts of other women. and you started finding out about it, presumably, or he told you about it, or what?
Yeah. I, I had the feeling,
Sure. And
So-
that's valid. You explored it, discovered it was true, and then just kept finding it out. And he kept presumably lying in the beginning, and then saying you're crazy, but all the evidence kept stacking up. The usual thing.
right. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says you're the crazy one. You say sometimes I think he's right. Why do you think he's right? Sometimes.
Because there are times where I just get so obsessed with his whereabouts and who he's talking to. And so I feel crazy for, like, I'll just go down this rabbit hole of like looking up phone numbers and, looking at, just trying to find anything that I can possibly find to, I guess, to prove to myself that I know that what I'm feeling is true.
And you generally find evidence proving it's true.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And just so you're aware, you looking up phone records or you looking up for more evidence and where is he or doing the drive-bys and stuff like that, that's so normal. We've all done that. That is not an indicator of crazy. That is an indicator of, I love this person. I'm afraid. Why are you hurting me? I want more evidence. God, this hurts. That's so fucking normal. So
Yeah.
that's not crazy.
Sometimes it gets out of control.
Yeah.
I feel.
And that's normal too. I mean, come on. I still know, no lie, I still know the license plate of a girl I had a crush on in 6th grade. No lie. She didn't have a car. Her parents' car. It was a silver car and their license plate number was EWF 076. Still remember it. No lie. Yeah. I mean, and, bike by her house and all this shit. Oh, yeah. No lie. EWF 076. Okay. So, you can beat yourself up over a lot of things in life. Don't beat yourself up over that. All right. That's not the root of your problem. The fact that you're obsessing over it. I mean, it's pretty normal. We've all obsessed. Okay. But then you go on to say this nugget here. I can't fucking leave him alone, right? I just want him out of my life, out of my head, out of my heart. No, you don't. You're lying. You want him in your life, in your heart, and in your head. You want him back. Now, if I'm wrong, tell me.
And no, you're not wrong.
Okay, so give me a fucking percentage. What percent, if you were to be totally honest, because you were a little tentative there. No, you're not wrong, Sven. Okay. What percent, if you were to be totally honest, do you want him back? What percent do you want to be done with it? Be totally honest.
95% I want him back.
That's exactly it. And it's not bad. I'm just curious what the reason is. Why did you write in your write-up that you sent in to our producers, why did you write that I want him out of my life, out of my heart, and out of my head? Why did you write that? And it's okay. I'm not scolding you. I'm just curious.
Because I don't deserve this. And he's not making any kind of effort to try to change things. And I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm totally like, I don't even know which way I'm going anymore.
Right.
I'm just like here, like not even, I'm just like here.
You're just existing, just blah.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. And if I'm being honest a little bit more, I don't doubt for even 2 seconds that you're sick of it. That's clear. And I think every one of our listeners would be sick of it too. And many of them would say, oh, girlfriend, I would have been sick of that 5 years ago, or whatever. But that's easy to say. But when you're in it, it's harder because you love the person. And you have those good times from the beginning that are still in your head, or those occasional good times when they're nice to you, or whatever. So it's easy to say, gosh, I'd move on. But it's harder in real life, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you're sick of it. But the truth is, the real truth is, you're not sick of it yet. You're not fully sick of it yet. The problem is, you're still too strong. Your strength is your curse in this case. Your strength is what's enabling you to take it. I've done videos before on social on the difference between happy people and unhappy people. And one of the fundamental differences between happy people and unhappy people is how they define strength. That sounds weird, but unhappy people define strength as, I can take it. I can take it. It's no big deal. I can handle it. I can take more. No, I can take it. I can take more. No big deal. I can take it. And they take it, and they take it, and they take it, they take it, and they eat shit and more. Happy people define strength as, sure, a little bit, I can take it, a little bit, but no. Happy people define strength as, no, I'm not going to take it. But you're not at the no yet. You're still taking it and taking it and taking it. Why? As I talk about in my book, There's a Hole in My Love Cup. You haven't reached the fuck it point yet. For all the pain you've experienced, you haven't reached the point yet where your pain has gotten bad enough. It's bad. I'm not disputing that. I that would just break me if I had to go through what you went through. And I've been cheated on. Okay, I get it, but not like that. But for as bad as it is, it's not bad enough because you haven't quite reached the fuck it point yet. You may think you have, but you haven't. Because the fuck it point is when the pain is so bad that all of a sudden, and it may happen when you are at the grocery store picking out limes for your gin and tonics. It may happen when you're at the massage place getting your massage and you're just putting your towel back on after you got this great massage. It may be when you're in the bathroom at work and it just hits you. Fuck it, I'm done. Okay, but you're not there yet. And all of a sudden, when you reach that fuck it point, all of a sudden you have the courage to do today what just yesterday and in the 8 years since you didn't have the courage to do. It's just, and all of a sudden you're there and you have the courage to do what yesterday I didn't have to do. And you have the clarity today that just yesterday you didn't have. And it's just like, fuck it. I don't even care anymore. I know what I got to do. Fuck this shit. It's the fuck it point. I don't even care anymore. Much more to come right after this short break.
You've heard Sven talk a lot about his book, There's a Hole in My Love Cup. And that's because Sven hears from his followers a lot about how much the book has helped them. If you're not sure how to handle the issues getting in the way of a better life, you're not alone. And you have a lot of choices. But thousands of readers will tell you that this is a great place to start, by yourself and at your own pace. So go to badasscounseling.com and order There's a Hole in My Love Cup, and you'll have Sven right there with you as you forge your best future. It's totally badass. So get started today.
Are you longing to feel connected and not so alone? Longing to be happy and more alive? Badass Counseling is excited to announce the creation of Community Plus, a subscription-based private group of folks just wanting to more closely share their soul journey together with like-minded folks and with me, Sven. For a monthly fee, you'll get bi-monthly live Q&As with me, Sven, giving you a better chance of getting your own questions answered. A private community feed for you to post pictures, successes, struggles, joys, even the occasional cat picture, creating greater connection and help for healing and growth. Random drawings for free small group sessions and drawings for private coaching sessions with me. Priority access to becoming a guest on the Badass Counseling Show podcast. Unlimited access to my DIY video courses, Healing the Soul and Unleashing Your Greatness. And so much more. Community Plus is for people serious about their soul journey who want real growth, real help, real laughter, real connection, and true community. Join us now at badasscounseling.com.
This show provides soul counseling intended to entertain and inform and is not medical advice. Now, back to the badass.
We are back with Harley. So, Harley, we were talking about the fuck it point. And one of the things that happens when we've been in a relationship where we've been taking it and taking and taking because we're so strong, where you can just take more and more and more. In our next relationships, our pain threshold changes. The amount that we're willing to take goes, and it's just like, I'm not going to take that much anymore because I know where that goes. I know where that leads. And we just catch shit sooner and we call it out sooner. And so you're just not, but you're not at the fucking point yet. You still have one thing. Well, you have hope that he might change. You have longing that he will change. But most importantly, you have fear. So let me ask you this. What is your biggest fear if you were to walk away from this guy? We'll just call him Denny. Made it up. I have no idea what his name is. What is your fear? Because I was thinking about my dentist and how I'm due for a cleaning. And then I can't call him dentist because what if he is a dentist? But then I thought I'll call him Denny. But yes, he could be. Anyway. And so what is your fear if you were to walk away from Denny? What is your single biggest fear?
That he's going to change and be wonderful to the next.
Okay. And why do you fear that?
I don't know why I fear that. I just fear that if I was to walk away, that he's going to finally change his ways and he's going to find someone new and he's going to be wonderful to her, treat her with like she's his queen. And that would just, I don't know.
But I'm asking, why do you fear that? You've told me.
I don't know.
Come on, take a shot at it. You could change your mind in 2 minutes or 2 hours or 2 years. Why? What is it about that would hurt so much?
Because why wasn't I guess good enough for him to change? And why couldn't I have been that girl that he's treating now the way he should have been treating me?
Sure. That's a legitimate fear. And then let me ask you this. Let's say that happens. Let's assume for a minute that happens. That Denny, you break it off with Denny, and he goes and he meets Sonia. Pretty name, Swedish name. And he meets Sonia, and you don't hear from him, but you happen to bump into him and Sonia when you're at a Jerry Jeff Walker concert, if he's still alive, and he just seems so happy. Now, the truth is, you have no way of fucking knowing if he's cheating on Sonia. You would literally have no way of knowing. Literally. You'll never know definitively. But you see him with Sonia. Sonia's pretty. He's got a nice butt. And he looks good. You assume he must be happy. You have no way of knowing. And so let's assume that happens, that he's with Sonia, the girl with the nice ass, and he's wonderful to her, you assume. Then what? Would you put the gun to your mouth and kill yourself?
No.
Why not?
Because nobody's worth
Well,
me.
that's an easy sentence to say, but I'm asking why you wouldn't. Honestly, why wouldn't you? You say you wouldn't. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Because I don't want to die over him. I want to.
Okay. So then what would happen if you saw him at the Jerry Jeff Walker concert with Sonia with a nice ass and he was really happy and you assume he's really happy? So then what would you do on Saturday? You're at the concert on a Friday night. What would you do the next day?
I honestly probably would, I don't know, probably start stalking him. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. And then what?
Make myself miserable.
Okay. And then what? Then would you kill yourself?
No,
Okay. Then what?
I probably would just, I don't know, I have to move on.
Oh. Oh. And when you say move on, what do you mean?
Move on with my life.
Like what? Yeah, you said it twice now, but what does that mean?
Find other find other ways to make myself happy. Because we're not together. We're not going to get back together. So
Do you actually believe that would be possible?
right now, I don't feel that way.
Okay. And your voice is cracking a bit, so I believe you. But if you saw him and Sonia, the girl with a nice ass, and he seems really happy, though you have no way of knowing, really, and you decide not to eat the bullet, and Saturday, the next day, life goes on. Maybe you stalk him for a while. Fine, whatever. EWF 076. And then eventually you decide to move on with your life. And then what?
I don't know.
Do you think you could be happy or not? Whether in a new relationship or taking piano lessons or...
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
So if you don't, what would you do then?
I don't know.
Right. So is it possible? Let me ask you then one more time. Would your life end if you lost Denny? And he went on to be happy with someone else.
I'd be crushed, but I still have to go on. I still have to live my life.
Okay. So even if the worst case scenario happened, eventually you'd be okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wouldn't suck. I'm not saying you wouldn't grieve. You wouldn't be sad, but eventually life would go on, and in the end, you would be okay, and there might be hope to be happy again someday.
Yeah.
Right. I know you're terrified of losing him, and that he'll change and be wonderful for the next person. I got news for you. If you walk away, he will change and be wonderful for the next person. I guarantee it. I absolutely and unequivocally guarantee he will change and be wonderful for the next person, at least for a good year. See, he doesn't want love. You said so yourself. He wants sex/validation. This is not a person who wants a relationship. You said, your words, not mine. I didn't make this up. And I know you didn't make it up either. You said random females, prostitutes, married women, and his friends' exes. He's a real piece of work. Friends' exes. Everybody loves that guy. And married women on top of it. Oh, yeah. Fucking peach. This isn't a guy who wants love. He's not looking for love. He's got skin hunger. He's got in need of validation. This is a guy this guy's life wrote the definition, the title of my book, There's a Hole in My Love Cup. This guy needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 different cups pouring love into his love cup. No woman will be enough for him. No one woman will be enough for him. He's got such a deep fucking wound inside of him. He's got a fucking hole blown out of his love cup. No, I guarantee you're not enough for him, and you never will be. He was lucky to have you for the time he did. Then he got lucky that his business took off, and then he thinks he's king shit. Now he's just like, I need more, I need more, I need more, I need more. And you poured all your love into him, which indicates to me probably an extreme giver, and you've probably got a hole in your love cup as well that you didn't cause. As you yourself said, I've never been enough. So the issue goes back to your own childhood where you were taught that you were just never good enough. You're not enough. You're not enough. So what you're wanting from him is confirmation of your worth. That's what keeps you holding on. And these rejections from him are him saying to you, you're not enough. And it's not just you're not enough. It's, I don't love you. You're not lovable. You're not wantable. Who you are just doesn't matter enough for me. So this isn't about what he's doing to you, even though it feels like that. This is him reigniting a wound that has been there since you were a child. It's like all of these messages of what you were taught about yourself have these powerful emotional charges attached to them. You're not enough. You're not lovable enough. You don't really matter. You're not wantable. You're not wanted. And it has these emotional charges attached to it. And those are inside your love cup. And when he rejects you and turns his back or sleeps with someone else or fucks this other person, it's like another emotional charge that drops in and it electrifies all those other emotional charges in there. And it just eats you up and it destroys you inside every single fucking time. And what you're wanting from him is confirmation of your worth. And that's what keeps you holding on. It's not him per se. It's that he would validate you and tell you, no, you are enough. No, he's going to change for a very short time for the next person. Unless he actually does the deep healing work that you yourself need to do as well. Unless he does that, that healing won't last. He will still have the problem of needing more and more and more and more validation. And what'll be even worse is if he uses his own children for that. If he ever has children, or maybe he already does. It's when we start using our children to get our love needs met. And then, does he have children?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. And I don't mean sexually. I don't mean anything dirty like that or disgusting. I just mean in general, emotionally, physically, companionship, dumping my needs or dumping my feelings onto. Right. And I know you are not going to agree with me, and maybe you've had friends say this, whatever, but you losing this guy will be the best fucking thing that ever happened to you. Not just because, gee, he's cheating on you and trampling you and treating you like shit, but because the fact that he's already doing this to you, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Let me ask you this question. If you met a guy, so it was good with this guy for a year, and then it went bad. Had you been in a relationship prior to this, a marriage or something?
I have 2 children, and their father and I were together for 16, 17, 18 years.
Okay, gotcha.
We were never married, but we were together for a long time.
And did he treat you not well?
Mm-mm.
No. And so the problem is down deep inside of you, you were conditioned to believe things about yourself. You were conditioned to believe that you're not good enough, that you don't matter. And sometimes we can't even see those messages that we were taught about ourselves. Let me ask you this question. What's going on inside of you right now? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Where are you at?
I'm just feel lost. I don't even feel myself anymore. I don't feel like myself anymore. I don't like myself anymore.
What's the hardest part?
Oh, I don't know. I just so unhappy, and I've isolated myself from everything and everyone.
Why have you isolated yourself?
Because I just don't even want to be around anybody.
But why is that?
I don't feel like I have anything to offer.
Have you ever felt that way before in your life?
Yeah. I've always felt that way, I guess.
Nothing to offer?
Yeah.
What's the earliest you ever recall feeling that way about yourself?
I don't know. I've always felt that way, I guess.
Understood. But what's the very earliest you can recall feeling like you have nothing to offer, or that you're not enough, or that you're no good? Or
I can remember I used to live in Kentucky for a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I dated a guy who was very successful. Like really successful.
Mm-hmm.
And he would take me, we would go on like trips, and he was really good to me. And I just felt like, what the hell are you doing with me? Like, I'm not, you should be with someone who's much more educated and more successful than me. And like, I could never understand why this guy was dating me.
How old were you?
Probably my late 20s, early 30s.
Late 20s. Okay. And do you recall prior to that in your life, seeing yourself as just unworthy or not very good? Did you see yourself that way in high school or junior high?
Yeah, yeah.
What was something that might have run through your head back then that you remember running through your head about your own not being very good?
Well, like in high school, I would just always was with the kids that got in trouble, like skip school and smoke weed, and
Sure. And they can be good kids. Why were you with them?
because I guess that's where I felt like that I fit in.
Okay. And what did you think of yourself?
I don't recall really thinking bad of myself back like in high school, but
What did you think of yourself? If you didn't think bad of yourself, what did you think of yourself? Come on, everybody is self-conscious back then or has thoughts about themselves. What did you think of yourself?
well, I guess I never, I thought, I was, I always wished I were prettier, smarter. I always wished I were, like more involved in some kind of, like activity. Like I didn't do any kind of activity, like, a cheerleader or volleyball. I always wished I had done something like
And what
that
do you think the reason is that you didn't do any activities?
because I didn't feel good enough.
And what do you think? Where do you think you got the message that you weren't good enough? Do you think you came out of your mom's vagina saying, "I'm no good"?
Well, I was never really told ever that I was.
What were you told?
Nothing. Nothing.
Were your parents in the home growing up?
Mhm.
Did you interact with them much, or because some parents are present but they're absent?
Yeah, yeah.
What sort of interactions did you have?
Not hard. I'm really hardly anything, nothing. Like both my parents worked, so they were gone during the day. But like at nighttime, we would all sit down at the dinner table and have dinner together. But there was never really like we didn't really talk. We just kind of ate. Just really nothing.
And so, let me ask you this: what happens inside a little girl's brain? The stories she tells herself, the things she thinks and thinks about herself when no one's filling her brain with anything. What did you tell yourself? What did you start to believe?
I've always just wanted to just be loved for who I am, even though I don't even know who I am. I feel like everyone that, even if it's just a girlfriend, like I've had great relationships with some females and they just will just leave, just disappear on me. And I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
What do you think the reason is that you don't know who you are?
I don't know. I don't know. Hiding from something. I don't know.
Were you ever told who you are?
No.
Right. You said that in your home growing up, there was nothing. Just nothing.
Uh-uh.
It sounds like there was just you and the crickets. Right. And what happens when there's just crickets is the child's brain has to come up with a story to explain it. The child is longing for connection. The human animal longs for connection and love. So the child is trying to figure out why I'm not getting it. A sort of vacuum, an emptiness is created, and the child is trying to fill the emptiness for a story, trying to understand, why am I not getting the love? And child's trying to figure out what's going on, make sense of the world, and no one's cluing the child in. No one's telling the child, "Oh, you're a wonderful girl," or "You're a cute little girl," or "You're a very cautious girl," or "Oh, you're a rambunctious one." And then you have something to sort of wrap your identity around. To begin to, at least. Some people get messages like, "Oh, you're a dumb little girl. Stupid girl. Fat girl. No good. You're going to be a whore like your mother." Some people get those messages. And some people get messages like, you're just wonderful. You're doing great, sweetheart. But you got nothing. Just a big fat goose egg. Nothing. Zero. So the child's brain fills it. And usually it's with something like, I'm lost. I don't know. And they also fill it with, there must be something wrong with me because I'm not getting love. Did you have siblings?
I have a younger brother.
And did he get love?
Not that I can recall.
Because you would have seen it. You would know. No?
Yeah, there was no kind of affection. Like our parents didn't
Right.
hug us or kiss us or.
Right. Right. And so you've been on your own, sounds like, emotionally on your own your whole life. And so no wonder you connected with the kids, smoking weed or cigarettes or whatever behind the school or whatever, because it was the lost kids, looking for connection to some degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You had some connection there. And in a way, you've been wanting to be loved for who you are your whole life. And that would give you some sense of direction and some sense of who you are, someone to give you a sense of feeling. And you've been rejected your whole life, unwanted. No one has claimed you. Your parents haven't claimed you. No man has actually claimed you and that wanted just you. Right. And so what it takes to heal the wound really isn't finding someone who will want you, but it requires going into the very stuff that we've been talking about right now and getting out that pain and the messages that it taught you about yourself, such as you're not worth knowing. You're not enough. The truth is your parents, they just completely fucked it up. They didn't even try. It's not even that they failed. They didn't even try. They didn't do their best. They didn't try. Trying would have been, sweetheart, how was your day? You had a test today, didn't you? You had a math test on your multiplication tables. How did that go? That would have been at least trying. Oh, good job. You got 74 answers right out of 100. Good job. That would have been trying, wouldn't it? Did your parents even try?
I don't really, I hate to blame my parents, but.
Wait. Just out of curiosity, why is that?
Because my mom kind of had it rough with my dad, so she was just trying to survive.
Oh, wait. How did she have it rough with your dad?
He's not very nice.
Okay. And so you feel the need to sort of defend her?
Yeah.
I see. So you were a child who completely had zero defense, and you feel the need to defend her. Now, I'm not saying your mother isn't worthy of empathy or whatever, but you were the least powerful person in the house, you and your brother, and you feel the need to defend her. Isn't it the parent's job to defend the child?
Yeah.
Are your feelings not valid simply because she was going through a hard time? Because you're fundamentally saying, I'm not allowed to have my feelings. I'm not asking you to confront your mother. I don't give a fuck if you confront your mother or not. I'm saying, are you allowed to have your feelings of anger and sadness towards the people who didn't meet a child's needs? You don't ever have to confront her. I'm saying, are you allowed to have your feelings? Was that child allowed to have her feelings? Or is she not allowed to have feelings? Says, hey, mom's going through a hard time. Which is it?
No, I should have been allowed to have my feelings.
You fucking ain't right. And did you say you have children?
I do.
Are your children, if you're going through a hard time, hey, what do you know? You're going through a hard time. So I guess your children shouldn't have feelings, should they? They should just shut the fuck up, right?
No.
How old are your children?
17 and 26.
Oh, yeah, they should shut the fuck up. They don't get feelings. Well, why do your children get to have feelings? If you're going through a hard time, I mean, look at you. You're going through a very fucking hard time. Why do their feelings matter, but yours didn't?
I mean, I didn't really. They do matter. They did matter.
That's right.
They should matter.
That's right. Because it sure sounds like you describe it as nothing. Dinner table, nothing. You didn't get love. They didn't guide you and help you feel like you had a sense of self and you felt lost. Yeah, I'm not hearing a lot coming from mom and dad. And so the notion that you're not allowed to look at that and just call it for what it is. Again, you can, whatever your relationship is with mom and dad today, you can keep it. I really don't give a fuck. But by denying the feelings that child felt and by denying what was done and what wasn't done and should have been done back then, you're only hurting that child. You're only denying your own pain. That's not healing. That's just stuffing your shit down longer to protect your parents. Let me ask you this. What percent of how your mom raised you did you deliberately use in the raising of your own children? What percent of her parenting style and technique and method did you deliberately use in the parenting of your own children?
Honestly, I tried to be the opposite of my mom, but
so give me a percent. What
I probably wasn't, though.
No, but I asked what percent deliberately. You may have accidentally used some of mom's shit, but when you say I tried to do the opposite, you're saying you deliberately tried to use basically 0% then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what percent of dad's parenting did you deliberately use in the parenting of your own kids?
0.
Oh, so you're fundamentally saying your parents were horrible fucking parents. You're admitting it. Because, I mean, if you used, 50% of what my parents did, half of what they did was actually really pretty good stuff. And I used 50% of it. Right. Or, you know what? I mean, in the case of my parents, I didn't stand a chance. I couldn't have been as good as my parents. I tried to use almost everything that they did. Almost. There are some things I changed. But I tried to use as like 85, 90% of what my parents did. I still fell short. Okay. So the more you try to use deliberately of the way your parents raised you, that's a testament to you believe your parents parented right. The fact that you use 0 is you basically saying they sucked ass as parents. So you acknowledge that. And you tried to do better by your children. So already you're a better parent than your kids. Okay. Because you were deliberate in your parenting and so forth. Tried to give them the love and so forth that you didn't get. So you're already admitting your parents failed as parents. So now, if you really want to heal from this shit, your problem isn't your boyfriend. Your problem isn't that you're allowing the person to do this. That's just sort of the battleground. The real war is what's going on inside of you and what you were conditioned to believe about yourself back then. And you were conditioned to believe that you're shit. Because they didn't pour love into you, and that's their fucking job. And it was so bad that somewhere in you knew it. And in the parenting of your own children, you said, I ain't fucking doing what they did. I'm doing the exact motherfucking opposite. That's how bad it was. Thoughts?
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah. They did suck.
They did. How does it feel to say that?
It kind of sucks. But
give me a feeling word.
It kind of feels good.
Give me a feeling word. Because anger can feel good, sadness can feel good, happiness can feel good. Give me an actual feeling word. What does it feel like to say that they sucked as parents? What does that feel like?
Honestly, it kind of feels like I'm betraying them.
Okay, that's one word. Good. Good word. That's good. You're betraying them. Are you doing something bad? Or did you just tell the truth? Or are you bad for telling the truth? Is it true that they were bad parents? Yes or no?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, okay. So even if you are betraying them, you're betraying them by simply telling the truth. Of course, we use the fake name, so no one knows your real name, so no one's ever going to fucking know. Okay, so give me another feeling. Betrayed, but you also said good. So give another word for good. What kind of good Give it a feeling word.
I
What's the giggle?
don't know. I mean, it feels good to say it, but
But what kind of good? Give me a feeling. Mad, sad, bad, frustrated, betrayed, elated, relief, calm, excited.
relief.
And what are you relieved of? Why relief?
Because it just feels, I don't know.
Take a shot at it. Take a shot at it. You can change your mind, but take a shot at it. Why relief?
It just feels good getting it out, saying it.
Because knowing what?
Knowing that it was never
Say it.
I was never not lovable.
Exactly. It was never
Me.
That's exactly right. It wasn't your fault. It was never your fault. There was never a goddamn thing wrong with you. You were a fucking child. How could there be something wrong with a child? But you were taught to believe that you were the problem, that you were at fault. It's impossible. It is literally impossible for a child to be innately, intrinsically unlovable. It was bullshit from the beginning. You were taught a lie because they didn't teach you the truth. And that is that you were good and sweet and wonderful and smart and creative and kind. And you still are. The only problem is you don't believe it because you were taught nothing. There was never anything wrong with you. You just had really shitty parents. So bad that you swore you wouldn't do one thing that they did. That's how bad they were. So I want to ask you one final question before we call it a show. And I want to ask you this question. What's going on inside of you? Where are you at?
A little relieved.
And any final questions for me?
No.
Fair enough. Harley, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. You've been a trooper.
Thank you.
You bet. Rob, any final thoughts or feelings?
I wonder how many of our listeners were thinking that you were talking to them. And my guess is thousands.
And what part do you think?
Pretty much the threshold of relationship pain and then the roots of it. It's all there.
I don't know about you, Rob.
Many of us.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know about you, but I've done the stalking thing before. You know?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I've been there.
I get the motivation.
You know, for sure that you so want them back and you just want them and it's killing you, but you want to know the story and what's really going on. We've all been there before.
How do you not look?
Yeah, right. How do you not look? And I guess in a way the pain has to get bad enough that you finally just like, okay, I've got to stop. But anyway, we've all been in Harley's shoes before. So to all of our listeners who have been there and to all of our listeners who have yet to go there, on behalf of my team here, KC over in the booth and Rob the Rocket next to me, we wish you a blessed day and also, hey, have a kick-ass day.
The Badass Counseling Show is strictly copyrighted. No copies may be made without the express written consent of the Badass Counseling Show, LLC. The Badass Counseling Show is produced by Karen Camparelli and Robert H. Friedman. Executive producer Sven Erlandson. Original music by two-time Emmy Award-winning composer Trevor Morris. Have a kick-ass day.